Morena. It's 5:28 AM. Going for a morning walk. Kind of been up since like 4 o'clock ish, but actually got out of bed around 5. Just been mucking around on the laptop, and then I decided actually I'll go for a walk because I was contemplating, because I've got a few other things to do today. But yeah, actually the morning walk has always been like a staple in my daily routine. So I find that when I don't do whatever the morning routine is, or the staple, generally kind of affects your mood. You either feel like you haven't done much, or it's just not, it's a bit harder to deal with the things as they come, at least when you've done the morning staple. You kind of feel like you've already achieved something, which is really important for your mental health. But man, it's so cold here, eh? I say this every day, but it really is. It's like 0 degrees or -1, or to check the weather again. And when the sun comes out, it's still like 1 degree, then 2, then 5. I think the highest is like 10, which is, yeah. So I've got the main objective for today is take the car to the auto electrician and get the key fobs sorted. And the door doesn't open, so hopefully all of that doesn't cost an arm and a leg. But they've already quoted me $3.95, and that doesn't include, that's just like to diagnose. So I have no idea how much it could cost, but it needs to be done. So yeah, and I don't have I'm dropping her off to work and then I'm taking the car in, so it needs to be ready before she finishes work, and I don't have a way to get around. So the shop is sort of half an hour walk from the lake, so I'm contemplating, well, if it's a long, if it could be a long wait, then I'll just go to the lake, walk to the lake, maybe walk around the lake, maybe take my laptop and find a nice spot and try to do some work or something, and then walk back when it's ready, rather than like paying for an Uber to get home. And so yeah, I probably won't be able to go to the studio today. And I know that Tonga's I think she had a pretty busy day today. I think I remember seeing a few meetings. So yeah, well, they said I'd be back tomorrow, but I guess I didn't think about what the things are that I had to do. Anyway, I'm gonna put my phone away because my hands are freezing. See you later. Yo, I think it's like 9 something. I've just dropped the car off at the automotive place, and now I'm walking to the lake, which is about a 15-minute walk, and then I'm gonna try find a spot and just sit there and maybe do some work on my laptop. Also mindful of my battery is only like 50-something%, so I need to keep that pretty high, so I probably won't do too much filming or internet hotspotting because I need my battery. They said they'll try get back to me by midday, so that's, what's that, 2 to 3 hours. And if they can't fix it today because they don't have the parts or something, then I can take it back tomorrow. So yeah, see how it goes, and I'll touch base with you soon. Oh, that didn't take long, we already made it. So this is the lake. So on the side of the yacht club, so that's in this common. That's where I'm walking to now. So I'll find a spot near the outdoor gym area, and there's a couple of nice benches there, so I might just sit there for a bit, and then maybe I'll go for a walk, lap around the lake, because I'm basically just killing time. So I have a book, I have my laptop, I have some nuts to snack on in a couple of hours, so yeah, should be good. Just need to preserve my battery. On that note, I'll see you later. Oh man, I've got a story to tell you. I'll tell you when I stop walking. So I ended up running a quarter of the lake because I was trying to catch up with this guy. I don't know if he's behind me, but he lost his rugby ball, threw it up, it got stuck in the tree, and I ended up getting it from him. But by the time I got it, he was maybe 300, 400, 500 meters ahead, so I had to basically run, and it took a while to catch him, and then we had a chat for about 10-15 minutes, and then I let him go back to his partner so I can continue on walking. He'll probably see me towards the end. Anyway, I need to catch my breath. Straight up. Oh, just taking a rest at the lake. This is like next to the yacht club, and just checking if they're behind me. I'm gonna walk back to the spot that I was sitting at, carry on with my with what I was doing, and tell you the story. Oh, bro, what a day, what a morning. Anyway, I am just about to have some kai, have some lunch. Man, this tripod is playing up, eh? Oh, where? Oh my gosh. Let us pray. E te atua whakapainga e nei kai, hei oranga mō mātou tinana, whangai mātou wairua ki te taro o te ora, ko ihu karaiti tō mātou kai ora ake, ake. Amen. I try to pray before each time I eat. Sometimes I forget, and then I do one mid-eating. But yeah, I'm gonna have a quick feed, and then this is some homemade chicken that my fiance and mother-in-law made. So I'm gonna have a feed, and then I will have a chat with you and tell you about what's happened today. Yo, it's 3:40 p.m. So I'm probably heading out in a few minutes, pick up my fiance, and I just remembered one of the things I was meant to do was to send an email, so I need to do that. And then the second thing was to talk about the uni status with my masters. So basically, I got an email today saying that, I think I already talked about it. Yeah, I did. Okay, delete this. Basically, in the school of mentors, reading some posts, liking some posts, commenting, and I'm going to be looking at some of the interviews until 4 o'clock basically, and then I'll go pick up my fiance, and I can't remember what our plan is. I think we were going to try and do something, and yeah, I have a lot to do, so yeah, I should do something. Yo, so I made an executive decision. I had 3 clips from earlier in the day. They were a total of 24 minutes, and I've just deleted them. The reason I've deleted them is because I don't want these videos to become too long, and I also don't want to deal with the hassle of needing to edit them. So what I'm going to try and do very quickly is I'm going to try and summarize what I basically was talking about in those 3 videos. So the main thing was talking about what happened at the park. So when I was at the lake, while I was waiting for my car, I went to the lake because it was the closest thing, and I figured I could kind of spend a few hours there, which I ended up doing, which was actually really good. While I was sitting at one of the benches doing reading and journaling, I saw a Māori couple. A guy he was playing with a rugby ball, and he got the rugby ball stuck in the tree, and I saw him trying to use his water bottle to get it out of the tree, and he basically couldn't do it. And by the time I got the idea to go and help him, I had an idea to fill up my water bottle to make it a bit easier to throw, because I guess that his was like half empty, which makes it a bit wonky to throw into the air. So I filled up my water bottle, and as I started going over to him, he basically left. And then I started doing it, and I must have missed like half a dozen times, and basically it didn't work. So there was a group of people that were watching, and then eventually this one guy who's like one of the people who does the lawns in a truck, he came around, he had some brooms and stuff. But then after him, the boys from the crew, because they're like building something there, they brought like a piece of timber, and they basically poked it out of the tree. So I was like, cool, great. Now I've got to chase after this guy, and at this point he was maybe 1 kilometer away, like give or take. So I basically ran after him, and I was carrying everything in my bag, and I wasn't planning to run, and I don't run very fast. So I was jogging and stopping and jogging and stopping. I was huffing and puffing. It took like 10 minutes. Finally caught up to him, shouted out, "Hey bro, here's your bag, here's your ball." And yeah, we ended up chatting. He was a good dude. He's from Paeroa. He just moved recently. I was like, cool, my whānau's from Paeroa. And it turned out to be like a connection that we kind of, a good connection. And then I heard that he's stuff about mental health, and I was like, oh cool bro, have you heard about the chat room? It's on Monday. Steve comes every Monday from 7, so he might check it out. That was the main first part, and then the second part of it, the 2 next clips, was basically about the book that I was reading, Think and Grow Rich. And I'll try and summarize this. Maybe I'll summarize it later, but basically I read the 30 mistakes that lead to failure, and I turned them into positives. So then I wrote a whole list of the things that I need to do, the positive version, and then the goal is to kind of do that. So I can't remember the first one, but it was like stuff like it talked about ego, it talked about vanity, same thing, it talked about working with others, and like, so then I just wrote the positive version. So like be enthusiastic, be cooperative, be open-minded, yeah, all these things. And then I talked about a story from Think and Grow Rich, and there's many great stories in the book, but I actually read a passage which I might read because it's really good. But it was basically about how a priest made up in his mind that he wanted $1 million, and within 72 hours of making this decision in his mind, he got what he asked for. And when the author was breaking down how it worked, he kind of connected it to the chapters in the book. So the first chapter, Secrets of the Success, was like having a definite purpose, and then it was all these other things like faith and auto-suggestion and something else. But it basically paid off, and it kind of shows you the power of that. Anyway, I need to go, and I'll talk to you a bit later. False alarm, I thought it was my fiance coming up, but it was somebody else. Yeah, so the chapter, oh no, that's not her, that's someone else. Yeah, anyway, she should be coming out. It's 4:36. What was it saying? Yeah, so the story was about this priest, forgot his name, Dr. Gonzalez or something. Oh, I'll definitely read it because it's fascinating. But it was like the culmination of all of the things. So it was like having a definite purpose, having a plan, having faith, repeating it every day, committing it to memory, speaking from the heart, like all of these things kind of led to the creation and the attraction of getting the thing that he wanted, which was $1 million. And it was about not worrying about how it's going to work, just kind of deciding that you want the thing. So for him it was $1 million, and for somebody else it could be something big, something small. It's almost irrelevant what the thing is. What's more important in the author's words was just having that clarity of focus of, this is what I want, this is why I want it, almost like obsessing over it and having a clear plan, visualizing it. So in the book it talked about how he saw himself in possession of the money before he got the money. And this is kind of a common concept that you've probably heard about with athletes, where they visualize doing things, and it's like when they get into that arena, it's muscle memory, and it's just, you know, they've rehearsed it, they've thought about it, they've maybe dreamt about it, and then it just kind of happens. So there's a lot of gold lessons that we can all take from that. And then the trick is trying to, I guess, decode, maybe not decode, but to like inspect or investigate what it is that we think we want, and then to try and get super clear, crystal clear on what we actually want and why we want it, and how, not so much how we're going to get it, but just why we want what we want. So yeah, I should stop talking. See you later. Yo, it's 9 o'clock. Time to go sleep. Long day. I think I was meant to talk about something, but I forgot. If it's important, I'll talk about it tomorrow. See you tomorrow.